SocietyROW. I'm Brian here, Sully Bop, also known as my artist name, Sully Bop, as some people know me, but here from the PR team at SocietyROW. And today we are interviewing Zenobia. She is a photographer from New York, and we're going to get to know her and also break down a few, questions of her process and how she got into it, and maybe some things about, photography itself. But Zenobia, if you could maybe give us just a short introduction of yourself, and we're just going to go from there.
Sure. My name is Zenobia, but my artist name is JPEG Zen. I'm a 24-year-old New York photographer. I do video as well and marketing, graphic design. I'm a full-blown artist, so I'm excited to talk with you guys today.
Awesome. So you do a little bit of everything as far as kind of that visual arts go, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's see, I'm more on the audio side, but that's interesting because everybody's kind of got their thing. And we were just talking about off air, we were just talking about kind of passion and how you get into something like that. So, what for you, like how did that start? How did that photography come about in your life?
So I honestly started super early. I think I was like 12 when, I don't know, it was something in me that just said, I want to do this. This is something I'm interested in. I want to make it happen. So when I turned like 13, I got a job. I was like, I'm going to work hard. I'm going to make this happen for myself. I brought a little camera. And then, I used to literally drag my friends out every weekend, anytime we had free time, anything. It was just like, yo, we're going to go shoot. You're going to be my model. I'm going to practice. I'm going to make it happen. And I fell in love with it. I really did. And it became, my passion. It became my life, my work. And I haven't turned back.
Was there any specific inspiration that wanted to make you get a camera and pick it up? Was there something that you saw maybe on like TV or something, or like somebody in your life?
Oddly enough, I used to be really big on Tumblr. And I think just looking at beautiful images every day and like seeing all that, part of me was just like, I want to create, and not only create, but I want to have something that's going to live forever, digitally, film, whatever the case may be. I want to make things happen. I see beautiful things the way my mind works. So I channel that into photography, and it just, it stuck with me.
That's so interesting you say that because I started on Tumblr too. As far as like I had a page and everything, and I waited like 2 or 3 Christmases to get my Canon T3i, and I don't know if the yeah, oh my god, I don't know if it's in the view right now. Yeah, here we go. I got the you know case for it right here. It's a camera that I still use, so it's funny. I thought I was gonna be a photographer. Like got the camera. I was so hyped. I took all these pictures, and then, but I ended up getting into audio stuff. But it's just really funny that you mentioned that and kind of like, hey, like grinding for that camera, and waiting so long. But as far as like your photography, like what's your favorite type? Like portrait, events. Like I know I saw your site, so I know you do different types. Street, whatever that may be. What's your favorite type to shoot though?
I guess for me, it's more like editorial street, more high fashion end than anything else. I think I'm very fortunate to have fallen into the type of photography that's very marketable. It's everywhere. You know what I mean? Like everybody needs a fashion photographer. Everybody has a brand that needs photos to be taken of. And I think that, I was fortunate to fall in love with that type of photography. Not to say that, I don't enjoy portraits or just working with people one-to-one who aren't necessarily models, they just need like photos. But I think for me, being able to create that beautiful image for the world and put out that message is what really captivated me. So I think that's my favorite.
Huh. Is there a specific message that you're trying to put out with your photography, or are you trying to channel a message from the person who you're shooting?
I mean, I think it's a little bit of both. For me, I see beauty in everything and everyone. And I think that we live in a world where society puts you in a box, and it's not necessarily a box that everybody can fit in. And I feel like we need to be more willing and more accepting of every body type, of every skin tone, of every, different trait that everybody has, because it makes you unique. And I think that uniqueness is gorgeous in everybody. So I feel like my thing is more so, you know, shooting things that you don't normally see, like shooting people that you don't normally see that in that limelight. That is really important to me.
Is there any specific, we're probably not going to pull them up right now, but is there any specific shoot that kind of, did that for you, or, or emphasize that the most, where you go like, if I'm going to show somebody something, it's going to be this shoot, or.
That's so hard. You know, I think it always changes. For me, I feel like every piece of art that I've created has just grown over time and I've gotten better over time. So at one point, you know, I was fortunate. I was shooting a lot of diversity events, queer events, and things like that. And it stood out to me because, you know, this woman, she messaged me actually on Instagram and she goes, you know, I love following you because you don't post the normal. Like my wife can see representation in your work. And that stuck with me forever. Like I always think about that. I'm like, you know, even just for me to post photos of myself, I don't see, you know, thicker models who are queer with tattoos and things like that. And I love to, you know, push those boundaries and tell people, listen, like, regardless of what society tells you, like your individuality and what makes you you is beautiful and that should be celebrated any way I can, you know, celebrate it, which is through my art.
Yeah, that's very powerful. That's very powerful. And I, yeah, I actually was talking to my photographer
Well,
friend about something similar where he was like, you know, the type of pictures that I post that are going to get a lot of likes, you know, and I don't even have to say what type of pictures they are, right? We just know.
yep.
That's what it is. It doesn't matter if his audience is female and male, right? And but that type of picture gets X amount of likes, right? And so when you're posting for maybe for that, because we know some photographers that are posting for that and others that are posting more for the art, and it's kind of a balance. But in terms of that, what, you know, is there kind of like any pressure to do like what's hot right now or what's like attractive right now, or do you really not as much focus on like the industry and what's happening there?
Personally, you know, I really, I always say that I'm kind of bad because I don't follow those trends. I don't really care for social media or keeping up with, you know, all these things going on. I don't care for designers, things like that. But on the other hand, you also have to be conscious because you want to work with brands, you want to work with the companies that are going to bring you the money. Because, you know, if you eventually want to be a photographer and solely a photographer, you have to have, you know, some sort of corral of clients. So for me, it's always hard. It is difficult to, you know, choose one side. So I always say, if I'm gonna shoot something that maybe it's not necessarily my style, but it brings in the money, cool. But I'm also gonna take time to shoot something that means something to me. So if I'm gonna post one, I'm definitely gonna post the other. So it's just for me about finding a good balance between, you know, doing what's gonna make the money and what's popular and fun and whatever, and really doing something that means something to me.
You know, kind of having that goal, you know, that your goal is to be able to work with who you want to work with. And sometimes you got to just do the jobs to work with some people you might not love to work with just to get to that point where you can. And that's where as artists, that's where we want to go.
Exactly.
If you were to, I think that balance is really interesting to go through. And we actually have had a clothing designer on this show, and she said something similar where she's like, I just like what I create is what I create. Like I'm not really, yeah, like you might look at and see, hey, what's popping right now? Something might catch your eye. But at the same time, it's like you can't really let it influence the art that's coming out of you because it's just coming out of you, you know. But as far as like, say somebody wants to
Right.
get started doing what you're doing, right? Do they need a camera? Can they do it with a phone? Like, how do you just go out in the street and take pictures? Do you find people to model for free? Like, what would your advice be when, you know, I'm just looking to start taking some pictures? I want to get into it. I have that little urge that you had in the beginning.
Honestly, I don't recommend going out and like trying to buy the most expensive camera, this, that, and third. Like, start with something simple, something that you can really learn the basics of photography with. When you shoot, anybody can shoot. Anybody can have a photographer. I can always teach you how to use a camera, but I can't teach you how to use your eye. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody has a specific eye that works for them, and everybody's art is different. So for me, it's like if you know this is something you want to do, get a cheap camera, get a digital camera, get a disposable camera, even if you know you don't have the budget for it. But make sure that you're going out and you're shooting, you're always saying, okay, like I want to be better. Hit up people who are doing things that you see yourself doing. If you see someone who has a similar eye to you, who has that talent that you like, if you come to them and you're, you know, genuine, reach out to them, say, hey, do you need an assistant? I want to learn. Like for me, that was very instrumental. And I also feel like I know I'm very fortunate to have met certain people and had them, be a great influence on me. But that's why I always say, like, if you want to learn, feel free to hit me up, because I've been blessed to have people in my life that will teach me, and I want to do the same for others. So, always ask questions. Even if you have to go on YouTube, like, I love attending YouTube University. I think it's amazing. Do anything that you can to make yourself better. Always go out, always shoot. If you have a friend, even just be like, hey, let's go out. Even if you're going to the beach with your homies, the park, wherever, take your camera with you, because like every shoot is a lesson to learn something new. So like for me, like my main thing was always just continue to shoot, continue to learn. Even when I was just shooting on manual, I still was developing that eye and working on, shooting the right angles and things like that. So no matter what, like Nike said, just do it.
Wow, that's so powerful. I love that you said that. And I love that you said, like, really just, it's all about doing it. And at the end of the day, it really is. Like, you don't get better at taking pictures from not taking pictures. It's just never
exactly.
And so was there a specific mentor that really helped you, or like did you go to somebody who took pictures and learned from them, or?
So yeah, when I went to college, this person I actually ended up shooting our fashion show that we had for homecoming, and people really enjoyed those photos. So because of that, they assumed that the office was taking these photos and it wasn't just some random student. And that kind of opened the door for me to, work as someone who shot events and things like that for my school. And during that time I met, a photographer, Photo Sniper on Instagram. She was, really great to me in the time and really taught me and took me under her wing. And that was instrumental to me because I, stopped shooting on auto, and I was actually really learning how to use the camera and not just working on my eye. And then, after college, Kim, the street sensei, she's the most amazing influence that I've ever had. She really took me under her wing. I hit her up originally and I was like, yo, I love your work. You inspire me so much. I really just want to learn from you. And I think, talk about it now. She told me, like, I felt how genuine you were when you reached out to me. And that's why I really wanted to take you under my wing. So, she brought me, didn't even know me, and had me shooting gigs in Target for, H&M, like all these huge names. And for me, going from someone who was struggling just to get gigs and really show people who I was and what I was doing, that for me was like so amazing. That's why I always tell her, like, you need something, you need help, you need an assistant, you need a second, I'm there, because I wouldn't be where I'm at if it wasn't for her. Her and Thea, like her girlfriend, they're so amazing. They're a creative duo. They both shoot, they do video, photos, everything. And I've just learned so much from them. And it's only been like 2 years that we've been working together. So it's been beautiful.
That's the power of connection right there. And also, I want to harp on the ask. Like, you asked, and you told, and you just said, I am here to help you because I need to learn. And when you say that, people are ready to go. Like, they're ready to put you on, people are ready to help you if you ask, but you got to ask and let them know you're ready. They're not going to give you opportunities. They're going to, as long as you got to go get it though. And you went out and got it.
That's what I did. I knew what I wanted from a very young age. And, I'm very introverted. I'm sort of a shy soul, but I knew I had to learn that you can't do everything on your own. That was a very big lesson for me. So being able to reach out and, I'm not saying this is, of course, not everybody's going to be as nice, that's just the way the world is. But when you truly find some people who are your people and, they're there for you, they want to support you, they want to lift you up like you want to lift them, and it's an equal exchange of energies, it's a beautiful thing. And you want to hold on to that and really grow with those people, because, that's the most beautiful thing, is to just be able to share that love, that experience, and, pass that on to somebody else. I think that's, so amazing.
And then you're going to attract that too. And you're going to, because that's what you're putting out, and you're going to attract that to you. And you're going to get only people coming to you who have that same perspective. And it's going to push those other people away who don't. And that's the great thing about really doing it and putting yourself out there. Is there anything, well, I guess I'll say this. If you were to like leave, like, one piece of advice or one thing You may have already mentioned it, but like one thing that really really helped you or worked for you, like a piece of advice for people maybe just getting into the creative arts at all, what would that, maybe just a short piece of advice for people getting into creative things?
I would just say, don't get overwhelmed. Don't look at, social media and all the other people who want to do what you do and then try to say, well, look at them and they're doing that and try to copy them. So be yourself, don't let the pressures of having followers and this, that, and a third stop you from doing what you love. Just be happy, shoot your photos, put the best out there. What you put out, you receive tenfold. So just keep it genuine and, keep working. Don't ever stop if you love it, because God gave you that gift. You know what I'm saying? Use it.
Brilliant advice. Where can people find you on social media if they do want to contact
So
you?
you can, sorry. You can find me on Instagram. I'm jpeg.send there. My website is also attached to my Instagram. I'm also on Clubhouse. All my stuff is attached to my Instagram though. So if you go there, you'll find everything in one place.
Awesome. Thank you so much for doing this today, Zen. I really appreciate it.
No problem. Thank you for having me. I appreciate you as well.
Awesome. Well, you have a great rest of your night.
You too.